Hello everyone, this is Dale tonight. Welcome to ORB number 3. I'm going to do this a little differently than normal. Normally I have a bunch of footage that I filmed for over a month and I kind of just put them together and do commentary over them. But I think this time I'm going to let you guys see my animals quote unquote live. Basically I'm just going to go in each cage of my reptiles and I'll show you each one. And we're going to start over here with my beautiful ball python Coraline. This is the one I got from the reptile show not too long ago, and I'm just going to give you guys updates on each one of my reptiles. This one has been doing really great. Almost all the reptiles are going to be getting fed later on tonight. That's why I'm down here in the reptile room, but we'll take a look at my beautiful ball python. She's really warm right now. She was sitting on our heat spot, and as you can see, she's been doing really outstanding. She hasn't really grown much in size since I got her. Maybe just a few grams. Gonna be getting a new digital scale very soon. I'll give you guys some exact gram updates on these, on the snakes in particular. She's starting to darken up again. She's going to be going to another shed soon. So her colors are not as vibrant as they normally are. She's actually a very vibrant ball python, but colors are a little dull right now. She's been feeding on basically medium-sized rats right now, and she's been doing really great. Just really great. Very docile, and obviously just like any other ball python, she's, you know, there's really nothing to report other than that she eats very well. Her cage setup has been great for her. She loves to climb on that Hydra dragon back there, and like, she hasn't lost her appetite at all. She eats very well for a young lady, and like I said, hasn't grown too much in size, but she's by far one of my favorite reptiles in my collection, and my favorite snake in my collection. So we'll put her back in there. So here's a shot of Hermione, the blood red corn snake baby that I picked up at a local pet store. They had a couple of these blood red corn snakes. These are my favorite morph of corn snake. This one along with my snow corn snake. I really love the morphs. This pattern here, if you know anything about the blood reds, all the patterns on this snake will completely go away and be an entirely blood red snake in its adult size and color. One of the main features, I pointed this one out to the employees at the pet store. They didn't know, they thought this was just a common corn snake, but one of the main telltale signs of a blood red is the gray markings on the head. That head sometimes can turn almost silver, and the red on the snake itself can be a dark red to a lighter red to a hypo red, and she was a little bit in between, and just a beautiful docile snake, almost too docile, which is going to lead us to what this video is going to be about. She unfortunately did not make it past 48 hours in my care. She passed away literally like 48 hours after I got her. Now, the person who sold me this snake, they were feeding it way too big a prey. It was on pinkies, and it should have been on something a little smaller. This was most likely a runt that came out of a clutch, and that's why it was sold to this pet store. I knew it was a runt. I tend to like animals with a little bit of a challenge to them, or deformity or anything like that. It's just something, just gives them so much more personality, and it's fun to rehabilitate them, and or if something's wrong with them, or to just raise them when they have that kind of deformity. I knew this was a runt, and runts can be very difficult to take care of, and unfortunately I didn't get to it fast enough. The store had already done damage to them. I'm not blaming them for the death, but this snake had some serious digestive issues when I bought her. She was not able to digest her food properly, and this is 48 hours later. I found her flipped over upside down in her enclosure, and she was gone, passed away. So really gonna miss this beautiful little snake. Now, next up is Naga, my snow corn snake, and she's been in brumation here. You can actually look in her cage and see where she's been basically going around in here. Right down in here, you can see that she has all this tunnel in here, and she just kind of creeps around the side. She wakes up in the morning, she basks over here next to that skull. There's a heat lamp in here that keeps it really nice warm temperature on that side, and actually it's usually a little bit more in the middle. And the heat mat is on this side as well. The heat mat and this one is on this side. I always usually keep the heat mats on the right side of my snake's enclosures, and the cool side on the left side. And there's a neutral zone basically where I put my lamps a little bit towards the middle here. They're a little bit off center, but this entire reptile room is going to be getting rewired soon, so most of that's going to change. But let's see if we can find Naga in here somewhere. I use the snake hook usually to find her, and once I find her, I can pick her up. But she's not always the most friendliest of snakes, especially when she's hungry. And you can kind of see her in here. Let me see if I can get her out. Next up are my geckos, which it's going to be kind of hard to see all of them. The one back here is Quasi. This is Samwise Gamgee. It's a Tremper albino. One above him is another Tremper, the most lightest toned of them, and that's Ripley. Got another Tremper right there, and that's Toothless. And then in the other moist hide back there is Gigi, Godzilla Gremlin. And I had well, that's nice. They have two food dishes here. The one on the left, the three bigger ones usually eat out of. The two smaller ones usually eat out of this one. That's one of the smaller ones. As you can see here, these two are best buddies. They were in the snake enclosure that Hermione is in, the blood red corn snake, and I was trying to get them up to size so they can come back and be reintegrated in with these guys. They're gonna all get a new change. I'm gonna get another tank for them, so the three big ones are gonna be in that one, and these two are gonna be and probably a little bit slightly smaller tank, if not a bigger one. I'm not sure yet. I'm probably going to get a couple more. So these two small ones, I have another cage mate. But as you can see, they follow each other around all the time. But they're no longer fighting with the big ones. The bigger ones accepted them back immediately. And I haven't had any problems out of them so far, which is great. But they still eat separately. But it's good to see them all together again, because they actually all grew up together. They were all born at the same time, so it's good to see them all back together. They don't really dislike each other. It's just when they're small, the smaller geckos kind of annoy the bigger ones, but now that they're bigger, they've been eating. Everything's great with them, and they've all been doing great. Only thing I have to do now is, like I said, is just give them some more room, but I'm not too much worried about it right now. They're actually doing pretty well. So let's take a look at the Pacman Frog. And here's my Pacman Frog. As you can see, just for a size comparison, he's not really that huge, but he's starting to get some girth to him, definitely. He's been feeding on some supers lately, and he also takes down crickets pretty well. One of the things I love about this frog is, it's extremely easy to take care of, but he's also a lot of fun. He's got a great personality for a creature that basically just sits and does nothing all day long. He has a great personality. I put him in this new pond because he was getting kind of stuck in anything else I put in, he kind of gets stuck, but this has a little walkway. He can walk right in and out of it. I haven't seen him in this pond just yet, but he hasn't been very active the last month. He's been kind of just sitting there doing his thing, but he's starting to get fat, starting to get really, really big. He doesn't eat that often. He doesn't have a huge appetite. He usually will take down a couple of mealworms or a couple of crickets, and he's content for a few days, at least like 2 days, and then he'll have some more. But he's not really that greedy. But other than that, nothing really much to report about this guy, other than he's cool and awesome, he's starting to get big. He'll be in here for about another month in this enclosure, and then he'll be going into something larger, probably around the beginning of the spring, somewhere around. So that's the update on all the reptiles. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find Naga out in the open as we take one last look at Hermione in her last hours. My blood corn snake. This is literally a few hours, about 8 hours before she died. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on what I'm gonna get at the reptile show. Most likely, I'm gonna try to get myself a male for a future breeding project with my ball python, and also I'm gonna be hopefully replacing this species of snake, this morph, blood red, in the next few months. Now that I've had one, it's just like I gotta get a replacement. I gotta have a blood red in my collection. I lucked up on this one, so now that I actually have one, I'm gonna go ahead and get me a blood red. And also, I got 2 other snakes that are gonna be coming in. Hopefully, I'm not gonna say what those are just yet because I want to make sure that I get the snakes before I reveal what they are. And hopefully, everything turns out right with that deal. It shouldn't really be a problem. It just depends on what the snakes look like and how big they are. I might even be selling those too. So I'll keep you guys updated on those. And other than that, all the reptiles have been doing great outside this death, which happens in the hobby. I didn't spend enough time with her to get too attached to her, and I did know it was a possibility she might pass away. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. Have a good one, and I'll keep you guys posted.